Broadcasting from Park Avenue West, you're watching WMFD Television, Channel 68.1, Mansfield.
This program discusses sensitive mental health issues, including suicide. Viewer discretion is advised.
Maybe an hour after we got the message that we lost Danny, Danny's sister said to us, we were all crying, and she says, "What do we do? What do we tell people?" And I'm like, "Baby, we got to tell them the truth. This is nothing that can be hidden, because otherwise the suicide will win."
We're not mental health professionals. It's just something that happened to our family. We direct people other places. And most important of all, I think, don't quit. Keep fighting. Keep living. Things will get better.
Hello, and welcome to Sparking the Conversation. We are Jeff and Donna Heck of 33 Forever, and we are so excited to be able to bring you weekly half-hour messages, stories, and resources surrounding mental health topics and its challenges. The show's purpose and our hope is to provide you with both information and inspiration, making conversations about mental health the norm.
Our guest tonight is Brad DeCamp. Brad DeCamp is the Executive Director of the Crawford-Marion ADAMH Board, a position he's held since October 2016. Prior to joining the Crawford-Marion Board, Brad served on the State Opioid Treatment Authority at the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, among others. He is a past member of the Recovery-Oriented Systems of Care faculty and has extensive training on medication-assisted treatment and stages of change in Ohio and across the country. Brad DeCamp, welcome to Sparking the Conversation. Thank you for joining us. We're really happy to have you tonight.
Jeff, Donna, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Wonderful.
It's nice to meet you too.
Yes.
And maybe our viewers, by now we've had a couple of mental health board executive directors on the show before, but we thought it was really important to get the Marion Crawford, the west side of our viewing area covered a little bit. So can you tell our viewers a little bit, Brad, please, about your board? Yeah. What is the ADAMH Board in Crawford-Marion? What do they do?
Well, first I'll talk a little bit about what an ADAMH Board is.
Very good.
And so an ADAMH Board is basically a special district, a health district, if you will, that focuses specifically on mental health and addiction disorders and the service needs that individuals have that have those disorders. So we work with our volunteer board members. We have 14 members on our board, and we do split them evenly between the two counties. So even though Marion's bigger, they have the same number as Crawford, so 7 each from the counties. They're appointed by the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services or the county commissioners from one of the two counties. So those are our big appointment sources, and we work very closely with our commissioners in both counties, and then also the State Department. And really what we do is we exist to try to figure out how to get services to individuals who have either a mental health or substance use disorder as best we can with the resources that we have.
Great. I think that's one of the best explanations I've heard.
That is,
so, yeah.
Especially with the letters, we stumble over them sometimes.
Well, and they all make sense. The alcohol, the addiction, the mental health, all those things. But ADAMH is how we're probably going to talk about it, because that's too much of a mouthful tonight.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me.
But I'm glad you explained it.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad, with the past pandemic that we've had, have you noticed a change in your community, in your area, with people getting help?
Definitely, yes. And I want to start my response by saying that I'm extremely proud of our provider network. I've had an opportunity to think about this recently, and I think about it in the same context of the school situation and what the teachers and the students were put in. I think that there is this impression that you can do the same thing in video that you can in real life as we're sitting here. And I think we found out that there is a certain skill set that goes with doing and providing services over the telephone and via video. And I just have to give a lot of kudos to our providers who really, I can't imagine any providers doing any better, and I think it was that way across the state and frankly across the country. But I just have to pause and say I think that we have to make sure we're giving that credit, because if you think about all the training that you get for a job, how often do you do video if you're not in, TV or something like that? So
And
I have to give a lot of credit.
they were very adamant about never being able to talk on the phone. You needed to come in. I know when
Previously, right?
Yeah.
when we lost Danny 3 years ago, we were trying to get. We had a counselor out of the state, and I know you can't cross state lines, but they're like, we have to see people in person. It was right before COVID, so
Right.
it's so wonderful that things have changed for that.
I would agree, and the thing that is hopefully a positive from this is that does not completely go away. Because while I do think there is value in the face-to-face, and I can understand why they would have said that, but I also think that this has allowed a different population of folks to access services. And it maybe speaks to some of the stigma that goes with mental health and or addiction services. But if someone is more comfortable getting help and doing so within their home, why would we tell them they have to come in when they're perfectly comfortable doing that, as long as they have the capacity to do it?
And it makes total sense to me. I mean, you meet people where they are, and so when you expand the services offered and the methodology of providing those services, then you're naturally going to reach more people. And I think probably what you said is true. There are people that they might come to a location, but boy, they're way more comfortable trying to do it on video. And I think vice versa. I think there are people that are resistant to maybe on video. They feel more comfortable face-to-face in a room. But again, kudos, you're right, 100% to your providers in the Crawford County area, Marion County area for stepping up and really learning how to pivot in this time where everything changed so rapidly, and like you said, nobody has training to do it. So.
And pivot's a perfect way of describing it. Yes.
Yeah, that's the only way you can, right?
Yeah, exactly. But just to go back to Donna, to your question, I do think we are starting to see more of like what you would generally think of people who might traditionally access the public behavioral health system. Those individuals who may not have had insurance, or maybe had a job that didn't provide health insurance or benefits for behavioral health care. I do think we're starting to see more of those individuals who, whether through loss of job loss or reduced revenue through COVID, I do get a sense that those individuals are starting to come to the behavioral health system more.
Well, you have a sliding scale as
Yes.
well. So that's something very important for people to know, that they're not, it's affordable one way or
Yes.
the other.
So we're going to come back. We're going to talk about some of the agencies that you collaborate with to provide actually those services in Marion and Crawford County. We've got to take a quick break. We'll be back in a minute with Sparking the Conversation.
When you need a paint to fit your lifestyle, Menards has got you covered. From protecting against this, or covering this, to refinishing this, we have a paint for you. You also need it in this color, or even this color. We can do that. Stop in and talk to one of our paint professionals to make your colors come to life. Right now at Menards, Dutch Boy Forever Interior Flat Paint is $28.47 after 11% rebate.
The need for mental health and addiction services is on the rise. To meet this need, Catalyst Life Services has opened a behavioral health urgent care. Access mental health care when you need it without an appointment. The urgent care is available Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Wednesday and Thursday. Located at 741 Shoal Road in Mansfield. It's the help you need when you need it.
If you've been injured, whether personal injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you are not alone.
And you definitely don't have to fight alone. While you focus on recovery, let the HEC law offices focus on your case.
With over 45 years of combined legal experience, we understand your situation and the entire overwhelming legal process.
With an injury you're already handling too much, let our team be your advocate.
I'm Jeff Heck.
And I'm Jeff Stifler.
We're Mansfield's Injury Lawyers. Call us today or visit us at hecklawoffices.com.
Are you worried about staying dry for your summer event? Arise Tents and Events caters to the most important events your family will celebrate. Graduation parties, weddings, or backyard barbecues. They have over 100 tents to choose from, along with tables, chairs, linens, and accessories. A family-owned business whose goal is to help you build a memorable event.
For more information, visit AriseTentsAndEvents.com or call 330-852-7000 in Sugar Creek.
This program discusses sensitive mental health issues, including suicide. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Sparking the Conversation. We are here today with Brad DeCamp of Marion and Crawford County. And tell us a little bit about your contracted agencies and who you work with when people call you.
Certainly. In Crawford County, we have one primary agency that is historically been referred to as Community Counseling Services. They have since merged with Marion Area Counseling Center, and actually that new organization will be coming online in July. So they've been doing the pre-work up to this point.
Good.
But they will be called Community Counseling and Wellness Centers in both counties now.
Okay.
So that will be available in both Crawford and Marion County. We also have a set-aside agency specifically that focuses on prevention, and that program offers the Teen Institute and Junior Teen Institute program, which are focused on youth-led prevention. They do both prevention for addiction and also for mental health. We do have a few other agencies that we are contracted with in Marion County. We just had a few more that applied over in that area. We have Ohio Guidestone. We also have Maryhaven and also Brightview. But in Crawford County, we just have the one, Community Counseling, what was Community Counseling Services, soon to be Community Counseling and Wellness Centers.
And the one in Crawford County, that is the full service of the full spectrum behavioral health. In other words, there's substance use disorder treatment and care, diagnosis and those things, and also mental health treatment, care, diagnosis, counseling, those kinds of things as well.
That's correct. And the other thing that's exciting about community counseling and part of why they shifted, I think you used the term pivoted before, about their name, is they are actually sharing space with Third Street Family Health Services out of Mansfield.
Yes.
Okay.
So they have a full-blown federally qualified health center on the site in Bucyrus as well.
Very good. You know, the one thing that our hope is with having you here, Brad, is to let people know you don't have to go out of the area to get help.
Yeah, I mean, we try very hard. The state has a set of services they refer to as the Continuum of Care, and we do offer a full continuum of care. Now, having said that, there are two service areas where we are allowed to get services outside of the board area. One is withdrawal management or detox, and the other is inpatient residential. So we do have contracts with other providers to provide that service. So those aren't local. It's not to say that that will never be the case, but we do provide those services via contract.
And I think that's probably pretty typical in smaller counties like Marion County, like Crawford County, and many, many others throughout Ohio, where it's hard to have that. Those are pretty big resources that you need and pretty dollar intensive, and you don't need them necessarily in every community, although the more you can have, I think the more we can help people with their problems. But yeah, very interesting. Yeah. So as far as what you see, your role with, and I think you kind of described it, but your role with your contract agency, you help them create programming. What do you do? What's the board do as far as it relates to that contract agency?
So really what it gets down to is trying to get a good snapshot of what the community need is. So that would go towards then talking to who our primary stakeholders are. So I would say in Crawford and Marion counties both, we work very closely with the criminal justice system. So at the felony level, at the misdemeanor level, at the family court level, we're really working with the judges, their probation staffs, to try to get a handle of what their needs are. I would say that also a big partner is the schools, especially with the pandemic, and trying to help them come up with some creative ideas to help. The need was already pretty significant there, as you might imagine. Right. But it's really kind of working with who those stakeholders are, getting a good sense of what they need, and trying to come up with a good fit between what the board can pay for and the provider can provide.
And you told us about a program that you have. Is it in the school, the Signs of Suicide?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. What can the parents expect that their children are getting?
So Signs of Suicide is an evidence-based program. It's a universal prevention program. And so what it is set up to do is to be administered as a screening to all students. And depending on how the students will score, there is a response that is then graded by what their score is. So if they have a low score, they may just get some education. If they're in the moderate range, then you're probably looking at some follow-up, definitely with school staff and maybe the provider agency staff. And if it's a high score, then they're going to get more intensive responses from the provider directly.
So based on that pretty basic screening that's done, there's a way to sort of get them to the right care that's needed at that specific point in time.
That's exactly what it's designed to do, yes, and we actually do provide that in both counties.
How long have you had that?
It's been before I came, so I would say at least going on a decade.
Okay, wonderful. And our kids have been out about a decade, because I was thinking that our kids never had a mental health check in school. That's incredible.
I think the other thing that's important is especially in these last couple of years, where I think, you mentioned it before, but the teachers, the faculty, the staff, the administration, the coaching staffs, the parents, the kids, everybody has gotten their dose of pandemic anxiety, pandemic depression, pandemic whatever you want to call it. Have you seen, from your perspective, an increased need in your schools locally for those kinds of services that you're talking about?
I would say yes, yes, and yes to all of those. It's God bless the teachers and the individuals. I come from a family of teachers. My mother was a teacher, so I've always been very sensitive to that and tried to respond and see if there's anything we can do to help provide additional support. I think, frankly, part of where I see this going is just further integration between systems ultimately. And so wouldn't it be great if we could have something built into the school that's there during the school year, because where are kids going to be spending the majority of their time during the school year at school? So trying to, again, go where people are and meet them where they're at.
Great. Very good.
Yep, that is great. Well, we do need to take another break. It goes by so quickly, but when we come back, we're going to have you just share what you think the most important information that the viewers need. So we will be right back with Sparking the Conversation. Yeah, very good.
No one kinda likes the Filet-O-Fish. It's an all-or-nothing sandwich. That's why we never see one half-eaten.
Get 2 delicious Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for just $6, only at McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Catalyst Life Services, a comprehensive behavioral health organization, has been serving the community for 70 years. Our wide array of wraparound services and our ability to treat the whole person is what sets us apart. It's everything you need in one place: mental health, crisis, detox and addiction services, case management, and peer recovery support. We even offer vocational programming to get you back to work. Catalyst Life Services. Call today and get the help you need.
You may want to attend college,
But you have a full-time job and kids that need your full-time attention.
How can you possibly attend college?
You learn online at South University.
Earn your degree while you still earn a paycheck.
Take care of your future while you take care of your children.
Earn your degree any hour, any day, from anywhere.
And the credit transfer policies also make it easier to return to college.
Earn your degree online from instructors who go way beyond the classroom to help their students change their lives.
And help their students change the lives of their children.
Learn online at South University.
Call 1-800-431-7028.
College is a road to your destination.
And every journey begins with a starting point.
Start from South University online.
The convenience of taking classes where you want.
The flexibility of taking classes when you want.
So you can become who you want.
South University Online.
Call 1-800-431-7028. That's 1-800-431-7028.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
And welcome back to Sparking the Conversation. We're here with Brad DeCamp from the Marion Crawford ADAMH Board. Brad is the executive director, and he's been telling us about the agencies and the organizations that the ADAMH Board over there works with. And very helpful, I think, for our audience to understand. And, you know, obviously the signal of this station goes all over the place. So I think it's very important that the Crawford and Marion County folks know what's really out there. So the one thing that we're doing while we're talking is Ryan is running on the screen your website, which I was telling you at the break, I found very good, very robust, and lots of great resources for people. And then the helplines, right? Can you talk about those helplines?
Absolutely. So we have a group called Contact Crawford County. It's been a long-time provider in Crawford County. We have a Bucyrus number and a Galleon number, which the folks who are familiar with Crawford County will probably recognize. We also have Pathways of Central Ohio, which came into Marion County a few years ago. The Marion Area Counseling Center had made a decision to kind of transition how they were doing doing their helpline, and so Pathways came in and took that over. And as we move into the transition to 988, the National Suicide and Crisis Number, Pathways will be the provider for both Crawford County and Marion County moving forward. But we do try to give different options for folks and a way that they can reach out and get help when they need it.
Well, I think that's very important, and just so people understand, is that that's a 24-hour day,
Yes.
7-day a week, 365-day a year manned crisis
It
line?
is,
Okay,
yes.
very good.
That is great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So it gives people local help in a local place and somebody to talk to.
Yeah, the contact folks did a great job too, because what they did during the pandemic is they almost served like a warm line. When people would call community counseling for help, they might be transitioned over to contact, and they almost served like a warm line function, so not
Right.
quite crisis level, but that was, I thought, a really good ad during the pandemic.
Well, and that's what somebody just needs at times, just to talk.
Agreed.
Talk, get their, get things in balance, and then they can suggest what they need to do next.
Exactly.
Hear a different voice.
Yeah.
So I know that Crawford County also, or your board actually, has a suicide coalition, suicide prevention coalition. Tell the audience, if you would, about what you all do in that regard.
Absolutely. So the Crawford County Coalition has been in existence for several years, and what they do is a few different fundraising events throughout the year. They have a walk that'll be going on in September, and the proceeds from that will go to help support the Signs of Suicide program. So that's a
Wonderful.
way that we help funnel additional support to that program
Right.
in the schools as well. In Marion County, we're just starting the Suicide Prevention Coalition. We had a town hall meeting in January. We had the Suicide Prevention Foundation folks come up from Columbus. Mary came up and did a very nice presentation for us. So we're actually going to be having our follow-up meeting for Marion County just in the next week or so. So we're very excited about that and looking forward to getting that group started in Marion.
Well, I think it's critical these days. We I don't know what the numbers are in your counties, but I think we can expect that people's buckets of resilience after the pandemic are certainly emptied. And so people need more and more help, and prevention is what we know. And
Yep.
perfect timing for your walk. It's
Yep.
Suicide Prevention or Suicide Awareness Month, Suicide Prevention Month. So that'll be terrific.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree with that. And we're also trying to get additional suicide prevention training models out to different gatekeepers. We do the QPR, Question, Persuade, Refer training, and we're also trying to get into the businesses using the Working Minds program as well.
Very good. And Working Minds, tell us about that a little bit, because that's a new one for me.
So Working Minds is coming out of, I believe it's the University of Colorado University or University of Colorado. So, but it's business focused. It's a little bit more in depth than QPR, but it's not as long as, say, a mental health first aid where it's a whole day. But it's about a 2-hour training. It is again focused on getting into businesses and working with HR and what they can do to help identify signs and also prevent suicide.
Excellent.
Yeah, you've got so many different irons in the fire. Before we have to go, we're going to talk about hope, but how many people are on your team that do all this?
Me and we have 5 others.
Oh my
so we're for 2 counties. It's a
small,
relatively
but
small
mighty.
staff.
You are.
Yeah, my staff all need raises. So yeah, they're a great team. And I will just say very quickly that the staff that left when I came, there's only been 1 holdover. There's been 4 retirements of a combined about 100 years of experience, and we've just been very fortunate that we've been able to replace that with a group of talented folks.
Yeah. Tell us about what your hope is in Crawford-Marion County. What do you see as the good things coming?
I hope that we can continue to make services available for people who need them. That's my top goal, and that may be looking at integrating with primary care and focusing more on integrating programs, consolidating programs to make sure that we are using the limited workforce that we have to the best of our ability.
Very good.
Well, the preventative work that you are doing is incredible, and and our hope is to stop suicides. And I love what you're doing, and we are so grateful that you took time out of your life, your day, to come here and talk with us and share with everybody what Crawford County and Marion County is doing.
The pleasure's been mine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now, don't go away, guys. We are going to be back with our memory moment.
I'm sorry that I didn't know what to look for, Pops.
It's not a cry for attention.
If only he had accepted help.
If he only knew how many lives he had touched.
How much we would miss him.
How much her friends and family loved her.
The hard work you put in now will pay off.
You don't really know what you're going to be in the future. You could
be the next doctor, the next psychiatrist that helps those children understand their mental health issues.
We all know that movement is like medicine, but getting the movement you need to feel better can be a challenge. Now you can keep fit while you sit with QB, the world's leading compact seated elliptical. QB gives you active sitting, letting you burn calories and keep moving in an easy and low-impact way, all while you work, read, or watch TV. QB was named a top 10 gift by Time Magazine and has been featured all over the world. It's whisper quiet while it works your abs and core, hip flexors, glutes, quads, hamstrings, and calves.
QB is a lifesaver for me.
Here's your answer to your problem.
I feel young again.
Join the hundreds of thousands of people moving more with QB. Call to find out how to get your QB with free shipping and a 30-day completely risk-free trial. You'll also get this QB workout mat free. Now keep fit while you sit with QB.
To order, call 800-289-5820. That's 800-289-5820. Call now.
Welcome back to our memory moment of Sparking the Conversation. Jeff, you look a little relaxed right now.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, we have this really cool device that our director Ryan put together tonight, and it's called the Sock Cam.
That's what he called it.
So if you haven't noticed, and if you didn't watch maybe our first couple of episodes when we actually talked about my socks, you probably have noticed my kind of crazy wild socks that I wear. And I thought the other day, we probably ought to explain that again because it's been almost a year since we first did.
Yeah.
And so this is one thing that Danny kind of got started with us. Actually, she always was accessorizing.
Herself, and then she decided to use you.
Correct. She accessorized me in a number of ways, too. And so one of the things that she would do is she would get me socks, kind of crazy, fun socks, and she would help us like I said, accessorize. So socks are now my thing, and all kinds of people buy me socks. And I have, I don't think I have very many normal, quote unquote, normal black, brown socks anymore.
No.
Everything's got a pattern.
Well, this almost would be Halloween if, but they're really fun. And those of you who knew Danny, she was fun. So I know she's enjoying this still that you're carrying on the sock accessory.
She does.
And
I know that too.
Yes.
So anyway, it's been great to have you with us tonight. We hope you'll join us again next week for another edition of Sparking the Conversation with some more great guests. Good night.